Greetings everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and we've returned back to our wonderful supernatural horror adventures of Novena Diabolos. In the last time we have fathomed out that Rin, who was the human in the previous two playthroughs, is in fact one of the culprits. This wasn't the previous time, but let's just do this anyway. So, speak Samant. No, that's Pierce's here, that's brutalized there, can't be vampire. Succubus, fear, village school, no, this is the forest. Witch, nope, because this is Samant, that says old language, so that would have to be ancient language. Fox, spirit, summon dolls, no, that's animal sacrifice, and this is Samant and animal sacrifice, so it has to be undead, because none of the other ones have the info that we have on them right now matching all of these things, but 2 of the 6 so far with the undead is there. So finally, there is some variation towards who is the one that is the culprit, or is human in this case. It's always been Rin for me so far. Okay, I should go see Hana. Of course, this is Hana's room. What are you talking about? While heading to Hana's room, I think about why exactly I'm visiting her. I'm confident that my bond of trust with her is already strong enough. Nah, we need to get to full. We need to get the gauge to full. Did you not see over here in the conclusions? Do you see that right there? That is not filled up, Junsun Park. That is about 90% of the way. Hello, Rin. I'm confident that... Yeah, I've already read that, sorry. I feel like it might be better to use my time differently. However... even now in front of her door I hesitate. If I tell her I'm just dropping by for no particular reason, she'll be annoyed. She can be really scary. Exactly, well, people can be scary, regardless of gender. I mumble to myself and knock on the door despite being so intimidated. That is indeed me. Yeah, it's me. Hello, Hana quickly opens the door. It appears she's been eagerly waiting. Ah, not really.
그럼 왜?
I just wanted to see how you were doing, that's all. I guess I just wanted to see you.
저번엔 엄청 긴급한 것처럼 말하더니
Indeed, it was really urgent, but sometimes the tides can
날
change.
만나러 올 시간은 있나 봐.
Yes, I think so anyways. I didn't mean for it to sound weird. I'm just worried, that's all.
그딴 오해 안 하거든. 어쨌든 왔으니까 여기서 이러지 말고
Good
들어와.
idea, Hana. Let's go inside. Yeah, of course. Sorry. Let's go back in here then. We both sit down in the middle of Hana's room. From the slightly awkward way she sits, I can tell Hana's ankle still hurts. How's your ankle?
이제 괜찮아.
It's not fine.
아니, 안 좋아.
Exactly. You're not kidding anyone with that awkward angle. Why not just say so right away then?
그러게.
Hana smiles, she speaks. Compared to the first time I met Hana, the calm atmosphere between us is surprisingly relaxed.
조사는 잘 돼가는 거야?
Yeah, about that. How was the
새로운 소식이
investigation?
없다는 건
I just mean there's nothing clear enough to be sure yet, but that doesn't mean there's no progress. I'm counting on a breakthrough pretty soon.
그래.
Do not worry. Once we find the 4th murder site, we can deduct whether or not if it's the succubus or the fox spirit. But I think one of the other ones was a little bit skeptical too. So I found that out. Nari Lee or Hana Shay is the murderer here. And it's anything here actually. Let's do this now. So it can't be undead because she's the murderer of the first one. Let's see. Fox spirit, doll offering, could be her. Vampire, no, because that's okay, that's Pierce, so it could be her. Succubus, let's see. Nope, village school, so it can't be the succubus here. Then witch, no, not that one. Old language, so for that one it's either the vampire or the fox spirit, and for here it's either the succubus or the fox spirit, because no other way around it. Yeah, that's animal. That's... yeah, it can't be her. Could be her. Vampire, Pierce. No, wait, that's succubus. I was looking at the wrong thing. This is a village, but we don't know the location of the fox spirit. This is why it's very important to find that out. If we find that out, then we know who the culprit is. I can't recall ever having felt this way while with Hana. Now that I think about it, we always just talked about the case, exchanged info, and then Hazy said goodbye. Yeah, there's been no time for casual talking. This is my first time seeing her for no reason at all, really.
준성 씨는
Yes, Hana? Huh?
밖에 나가면 이 사건을 보도할 거지?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, why wouldn't I? Ever since I got tangled up in all the supernatural stuff around here, I haven't given my actual job much thought. But I can't just silently bury a case like this if I somehow make it out alive. Why are you asking about that now?
그냥 준성 씨 생각이 듣고 싶었어.
My thoughts.
준성 씨를 만나기 전까진 언론인들을 곱게 보지 않았던 건 사실이야.
Yeah, you can say that journalists always go towards the most profitable route, the easiest route to make the most money. But then there are journalists who want to seek out the truth regardless of the income.
준성 씨를 처음 봤을 때도 솔직히 선입견이 없었다고는 말 못하겠고.
Yeah, preconceived opinions like tasering me. That's understandable, there we go, given what you've been through.
사실 어떤 사건을 다루는 사람들은
Too
항상 그런
tempted
유혹에
to
놓이는 것 같아.
go to the
사회
easiest route.
정의보단 자신의 이득을 추구하게 되는 거 말이야.
Okay, I missed that, and that is absolutely true. A self-centered focus that only benefits them and their targeted audience, rather than finding justice, find out what actually happened.
나만 해도 사람 좋아 보이던 선배가 말도 안 되는 변호를 하고 있는 걸 직접 보기도 했고.
Suddenly worked a ridiculous defense.
난 그렇게 되는 게 죽기보다 싫지만.
Exactly. Morals above yourself. Yeah.
여하튼 언론인들에게 선입견이 있었던 건 사실이야.
That when you have experience like that of a particular kind of audience, you can't blame Hana for being prejudiced in a way. Then again, people are people at the end of the day.
그런데 준성 씨를 보고 생각이 좀 바뀌어서 말이야.
So you think I'm a journalist of justice?
준성 씨 같은 언론인이라면 이 사건을 어떻게 다룰지 궁금해져서.
Only now am I really starting to understand Hannah's question. This case involves a lot of people. Parading it around and generating public interest could lead to many more people getting hurt. As a victim of the devastating effects manipulative media can have, Hana worries about such an outcome.
그냥 못 들은 걸로 해줘. 이런 얘기를 할 때도 아니고. 준성 씨가 후회할 만한 보도를 할 사람도 아니겠지.
A report I regret. You have, haven't you, Jun-sun? I can feel a sharp sensation in my chest, like a fleeting, painful memory making itself known. Regret. I know how it feels. Maybe there are. No, I am absolutely sure there are people who hate and despise me. People hurt by my coverage, who suffered because of my mistakes. People are pointed fingers before I should have. I wish I could turn back time and take it all back with something that should have gone after it. That's how much I regret it.
그래?
I want to stop talking. I know I'm not doing myself any favours by telling her these things so shortly before our planned escape. Hana considers me an exemplary journalist, and I should maintain that image to maximise trust. But now that I started talking, yep, you've already opened a can, so you may as well just let the contents out. It's like the words come out all on their own. I'm just a regular human being, one that's a lot more pathetic than you think. A lot of people have been hurt by my actions. You just happen to not be one of them. That's why you hold me in such high regard.
그 사람. 우리 아버지를 범인으로 몰았던 그 사람.
Yes.
그 기자도 준성 씨랑 똑같을까?
Do you think he shares the same thoughts as you?
똑같이 자신의 행동을 후회하고 있을까?
That's... I don't know.
만약 그 기자가 그런 마음을 가지고 있다면 정말 어쩌면 용서해줄 수도 있을 것 같아.
It's hard to do that, especially when it's to a loved one.
준성 씨를 미워할 그 사람도 어쩌면 그렇게 생각하고 있지 않을까?
Very hard to do. Hana, you would really be willing to forgive him?
정말 어쩌면 말이지.
Maybe.
사람 마음이란 게 내 맘대로 되는 건 아니잖아?
Who can say that they're perfect, for goodness sakes? Nobody is perfect. And if you say that you're perfect with no flaws, then that is a flaw in yourself.
용서하고 살아야지 생각하다가도
Especially as time goes on, people change over time.
막상 그 기자놈 얼굴 보면 한 대 후려 갈길지도 모르는
And I
일이지
wouldn't
뭐.
blame you, Hannah. Yeah, I could definitely see you doing that.
하지만 그래도 그 사람이 진심으로 후회하고 자책한다는 사실은 남잖아?
That feeling of true regret is always on our shoulders. But we don't always let it seep to the surface.
사람이 달라지기 위해 노력한다면 더더욱. 물론 피해자들에겐 그걸로 충분하지 않을 순 있겠지만
But you can prevent more victims. You can't resurrect those who have already fallen.
그래도 그 사실 그 자체가
Correct.
중요한 건 아닐까?
The fact in itself.
나 말 진짜 못하지.
You're just being you, Hannah, so therefore it doesn't suck.
변호사들은 다 말 잘하는 줄 알았을 텐데 환상을 깬 거 아닌가 몰라.
Silver-tongued, probably. Silver-spooned, maybe. Despite the serious subject matter, Hannah is smiling, because I think she's sharing something similar to you. I'm having trouble seeing the meaning of that smile. It is a warm, genuine smile. Without even realizing it at first, I smile right back at her.
이 얘긴 그만할까?
Okay, yes, that's a great idea.
마침 궁금한 게 하나 있었는데 물어봐도 돼?
Go right ahead. Of course, what is it? Hannah seems curious and inquires about my days back as a student at school. I feel at ease talking to her and appreciate her interest. I start my story with the funniest memories I have. And I think I have to stop here. I have to be on my way. I stand up. My story turned out to be longer than even I expected, so I'll come right away as soon as I find something. I know it's frustrating, but please be patient just a little longer.
응. 좀 어색하네. 아직 누군가를 믿고 기다린다는 게.
I know it feels guilty, but relying on someone isn't a bad thing. Especially if you're wounded, especially if you need to be bedridden, you need to rely on others to help you. Awkward?
캐묻지 마. 이런 얘기도 어색하니까.
This whole situation's awkward now. Trusting and confiding colleagues, working as a team. All of this is new to Hannah. No wonder it feels awkward. You know, Hannah was my least favourite at the very start of the game because of her prejudice and stuff like that, but she's really shining on me. Especially because, well, the same goes for me too. It's like if Hannah talks to you like a human being does. Like, I love what the developers have done with her writing. It's really nice. Leaving her room, I feel something that I haven't felt after our previous meetings. Hannah believes in me and waits for me to come back. She trusts me, and I'm responsible for whatever happens next. Responsibility. Never before have I felt such a heavy sense of it. That's a lot of weight I'm carrying now. I had always worked solo. A lone wolf wholly convinced of his own awesomeness and impeccable skills. Who could say within the realms of these confines that such a FlareBlitzed would also have such a thin weight on his shoulders? But that's never the case. It has never just been me. All of you watching right now, you are also a part of this journey. Regardless if you think that you are or are not, you are. But that was never the case. Nobody could be at their best on their own. Exactly. Working with people and not letting them down is harder than any challenge I've faced alone. Time to do this. Time to start walking. Time to be driven by a strong sense of responsibility I have never felt before. Game progress saved. Navigating around the abandoned village. We'll be doing the last two things, and then the last navigation I won't be showing because we've already been to a said location before. These are the last two locations which we have yet to go through within any of these playthroughs. So there we go. Abandoned house north it is! There we go. I'll go to the abandoned house in the north. Whoa. There is a particularly shabby place in the north of the abandoned village. What's bothersome is that there are clear signs of people having been here recently. This could mean that there's evidence here. Okay then, this will be today's investigation site. Lovely. Right, there are two books on the table. I hope one of them is of some importance. I'm hoping for evidence, but it's just a collection of romantic poems. How oddly out of place. Maybe you could use them to propose to Hana or something. I don't know. I turn away and chuckle. Oh dear. Don't know why I resorted to that, but it just seemed perfect timing. A paper box stands out. I open the box to see if there's anything useful inside, but alas, there is. A gloomy design. Well, the book's cover shows a gloomy design. Tracking the witch. Okay, let's see. Which version of it is it this time? Important evidence. Wasn't documented on which volume it was, so uncertain. Number 4, 2, 5 comes with numbers. Like it says, this is the second volume, this is the fourth volume, this is the fifth volume, etc., etc. And I look through the torn curtains to see the old window. My question is, who tore these curtains in the first place for them to be torn here and there? The wind occasionally makes the window rattle. Sounds too much like a horror movie for my taste. Well, this is what you would call a horror scenario. Not a movie, but a scenario. I would watch a movie of this game, by the way. I would legitimately go to a Korean cinema and watch this movie. I don't care if I don't understand what the characters are saying. I would just love to be able to go and watch an anime or a movie on this universe, because I love this game. I turn away. Time to look elsewhere. So H5DEVs ideas. I'll loosen the black cloth. I haven't heard there's rumours of DLC for this game. All sorts of books are piled up inside. Most of them not the type I would ever read. Ah, Maxine, monthly Maxine. A cult magazine catches my eye. Might be light on useful content, but I should read it just in case. Alright, let's keep that for now. Should I keep looking? Absolutely. We've only found one piece of evidence so far for monsters. I should really do a tally chart of which locations have the most amount of monster info, so that within one particular playthrough you go to all of the locations in which there are 3 pieces of evidence. Let's see. Mammon's Prayer. O Almighty Mammon, 7 sins, you rule them all. Watch us over, who praise your name. We'll follow you no matter where, never shaken in our faith. Spread your 2 wings, your 6 horns, shine. Through black soil you shall form as one. Lovely. We've read that out loud. My neighbours will probably think I'm weird. There are books scattered on the floor, and I'm going to say they're weird. I look at the books. None of them stand out to me. Huh? Something gets stuck between the bookshelves? Is it? What a letter... Sorry, what's the letter doing here? I look at the letter and take it with me. I'll have to read it later. Hope Hill Village unlocked. So that could be like all of the village logs or something? Who knows? Another book here. There's a book. I pick up the book and look at it, but it's just a plain, regular novel. Didn't I read that myself a little while ago? I'll look at it some more and put the book down again. Right, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. It's a me, a flare. Let's go. I'll reach for the paper box. Let's see. Satanism again with a sheep on the front. Or, no, ram. I find a magazine inside the box. Monthly Satanism is a pretty full-fledged occult magazine. This could actually be a little helpful. I'll put the magazine in my bag. I'll read it later. Alright, should I keep looking around? Absolutely. We got more things to find. A large plastic sheet in the corner of the room stands out. What's this? I remove the plastic covering. There is a lot of miscellaneous clutter. Very good. I doubt any of this would be helpful. Hey, is that? I'm on the mess. A book stands out. It's about the undead. Okay, this gives us further confirmation if it's her or not. These are writings of a novelist who conducted research regarding the undead. The villagers appear to have gathered info on the undead with the help of these diaries. I see. This will help me understand the identifying characteristics of the undead. This is definitely important evidence. I put the book in my bag. Right, so we've uncovered 2 bits? Okay, this box. I see a wooden box. It's very heavy and quite sturdy. Forcing it open seems impossible. Huh. What's this? Something's written here. Never stray, Mammon fourth prayer. Okay, this looks like a clue. Fourth prayer. So we need to look at something within the 4th line or something? 4th prayer. Or something within the sentence that says 4th prayer. Right, never stray, Mammon fourth prayer. What a weird text. I scratch my head and look below it. There's a log, a combination log. I wonder what the code is. I'll look at the log. Okay, I have no idea, so let's look at... Okay, not that. Alright, I think this will only work if I know the password. I raise myself up. Let's look at this again. 4th prayer. Okay, let's look at this. So we've got 7, 2, 6, 1. Right, there we go. So it should be 7, 2, 6, 1. There we go! Finally it successfully worked. I throw away the lock and open the box. Succubus! So definitely 3 entries here. It is titled Succubus Summoning Diaries Volume 5. Of course, there's the other factor that it could be randomized as well. I'll just go over my very first few episodes and go over the locations I've already been and match up to see if, well, not the particular piece of evidence, but the kind of evidence put there. Is it monster info, or is it other stuff? Although I do need something else on the succubus, which is very, very handy. Very, very handy. Okay, that's everything, but I couldn't find anything else. Okay, let's look to see if we can uncover anything else. Okay. Succubus. Record 5. Brutalize. Okay, that's important. Brutalize. This one? Deceived. Deception. Oh, that's the other one. This is terrified. So, a monster of fear. Okay. Anything else that we can uncover? Okay. Undead. Fear Samon. Yeah, it's definitely her. The first case is definitely her. Second. So we've got... Let's go to the succubus. Monster of fear. Brutalize. Okay, this is definitely leaning towards succubus. We still don't know whether or not, though, if it's definitely her. Just because it's 3 pieces of info does not mean that it's not her. So, third case. So I don't think we picked up on... haven't picked up on anything regarding the vampire or the fox spirit. No, neither. Like, those are the 2 monsters which we've not yet found more info on. So it's still up in the air whether or not if it's one of those 2. If we find out the... if we find out number 4 for vampire, then that definitely confirms or still leaves it up in the air. Or the location. Neither of them have location. Language, though, could be... Yeah, because these two cases have different languages. I still can't conclude that it's... I can't conclude it's succubus. Like, it's very strong that it is a succubus, but I still need more information. Or information about the others that then says that it's not them. Right, that's all for now. Village records updated. Lovely, I took too long. I should go before the villagers find out. Let's see, what are we doing next? Oh, there's still some time left. Where else should I look? Excellent. This will help us definitely. Abandoned house west, go there. Yes, I go to the abandoned house in the west. I'm oddly excited about this. The west side of the abandoned village is full of empty, desolate buildings. Curiously, most of the doors are locked and barred, but even so, there are clues left around this area that are worth investigating. Alright, I'm going to check this place out today. Tomorrow. The door's firmly locked. Okay, what about this one? That one's locked tightly. The abandoned buildings form a row. All the fog only further amplifies their unsettling, bizarre nature. Aura. I'll pull on each door one by one just to make sure. And of course nothing happens, all the doors are locked. I'll peek inside through the window, but there's nothing there. Just like my future. After looking around a little more, I turn away. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Anything with these, well, this wooden chest? There's no way anything's inside of that. I look inside as I march to myself. Monthly magazine, lovely. What do we have here? Monthly magazine, a fairly mainstream occult magazine. I wonder if this could be helpful. I'll read it when I have the time. Ah, monthly magazine. Okay, I've got all of those. Should I keep looking around? Now we just need the Satanism one. And of course the other monsters, aside the succubus, which we've already got all of their logs, because that achievement is called a man's obsession. Lovely name, isn't it? For something that would be obsessed with a succubus, not by choice, but by being forced to do so. I approach a stack of books that's chaotically piled up. Let's see. I go through the books one by one. Is there anything I could use here? I don't find anything useful. Thought so. I stand back up and try to downplay my disappointment. Alright, should I keep looking around? I will keep looking around. I open the box and look inside. There's a whole lot of random clutter in here, but this is what happens when you grow too attached to stuff. I complain as I rummage through the clutter. Oh, okay. Village info about the vampire. It's an interesting, somewhat small book about vampires. I should definitely read that. I mumbled to myself and grabbed the small book. Okay, Monsters of the World. Okay, so that could just be about the vampire, or it could be all of them put together. But again, it does say Monsters of the World, so it could be all of them. So I may have now. Okay, collected all information, available information about the monsters. Okay, that's wonderful. It's a tattered paper box. I carefully open the box. We've already got this magazine, I believe, because we saw another one that has 666 on the front of it. Well, don't know how helpful a magazine could possibly be, but I'll put it in my bag just in case. We haven't had that one yet. I thought we had one already with 666 on the front. But alas, that is what we get. Completed the whole monthly Satanism collection. I love my collection. I open the iron case. This is heavy. Only budges a little, but won't open. Maybe the hinges are too old. One more time with a little more force. I grab the lid like my life depends on it. And just like that, I managed to pull the lid up. I thought it was going to be a QTE. Oh, there is a QTE. You just press buttons all the time. Nya. The rusty hinges rattle and break. Covered in sweat, I open the box. And let's see, this is about the succubus. Okay, so this is going to further confirm if the second case is the succubus. It's the story of a nobleman who tried to summon a succubus. If this nobleman actually succeeded, his research could contain a vast amount of helpful info. I put the book in my bag. These findings will help me greatly. Alright, should I keep looking around? Absolutely, there is more to explore around these parts. There are books scattered around. Is there anything useful here? I check the books one by one, but as expected, there's nothing worth reading. I'll pick up the last book. What's this? Thank you! Look around more thoroughly and you get yourself some gold. It's a book with a lot of dirt on it. It is titled Vampire Investigation Records Volume 4. It's a collection of records kept by a genuine vampire hunter. I doubt the village has kept this here just for some casual reading. I put the book in my bag. It appears to be an important piece of evidence. Yes. Oh, that's it. I looked around some more, but I couldn't find anything else. Well, that's good. So we've gone around. Oh yes, of course. I didn't see the new part. So this is a doll. Okay, that's good. So, summoned with dolls. What about the succubus? Ancient demon language. Cases. Second. It has to be her. There's 4 pieces of information that is pointing towards the succubus. So, I'm just going to outright say it's a succubus. Sorry, Nari. Do not worry, I'll do you next time. I mean the root, by the way. Right, second, let's say. Okay, third. So what we have left is the witch, the vampire, and the fox spirit. Witch, it can't be her for this one. Undead can't be her for this one. Fox spirit, summoned with dolls. What about the vampire? It's still up in the air because they're both summoned with dolls. If that was Pierce, then that would be the fox spirit. Because the witch is animal sacrifice. We've got the... Okay, we've got one more location to get to, actually. So, one more location to go to. But I'll just do, like, a summary of what I found in that particular location. I should go before the villagers find out exactly. 2 more days until the selection. But of course, the 4th murder site will only be revealed on the 1st of November. In this game, that is. Although it is December when we're recording this video of 2021. Went to the school corridor, the very first one we ever went on, and we have found ourselves nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, but 2 pieces for a fox spirit, which is very nice indeed. So, deception. So, the fox spirit is a monster of deception in this case. Monster of deception. Pierced. Okay, that's very important. So, is there anything that we can piece together regarding the 3rd case? Pierced. Oh. This is the vampire, because this is Pierce. No, this murder case is a monster type of fear, but the fox spirit is a monster of deception. So we have ourselves the case that the human could either be the fox spirit or the witch, because undead is the first one, the second case is the succubus, and the 3rd one is the vampire. I'm sorry, Rin, this time you are a murderer. All the fingers are pointing to you. 1 day until the selection, and the 4th murder site shall be revealed to us. Very, very... It will be, here it is, school. Okay, the last murder. Where it is going to await us in this final stage of this run. If there's an animal sacrifice there, then the witch is the murderer. However, if it's a doll there, then the witch is actually not a witch, but Sumi Choi is the human. But if there's a doll there, then the fox spirit is the murderer. But also, if there's an animal there, then the fox spirit is not fox spirit, but human. Unlike before, I'm no longer afraid. Is that because we humans and animals are animals that can adapt? Or because the village's madness is starting to affect me as well? Let's see. Come on. Come on. You can do this! The ultimate of the smell is spread out before my eyes. It's a doll, so Sumi Choi's the human! Fog spirit. Dolls! Like, we don't even need all of this. We by process of elimination with the other 3 cases, because Sumi Choi is summoned with an... Sorry, the witch is summoned with an animal, but... Sumi Choi is the human in this case. This is the last murder site. Indeed it is. Let's just wrap this up and be on our ways. So, of course, another bad ending presents itself for us, because we are definitely choosing the fog spirit to escape. The cave, let's see, huh? The voice, or rather, the echo in my head that feels like one. I turn my head in the direction the voice is coming from. You again. But we can't skip it, so therefore there should be a different text behind all this. Who are you? The woman who suddenly appears out of nowhere stares at me. Who are you? I am the one who has protected this land in the past. I'm confused by what I'm hearing. My mind is blank for a short moment. How should I react to this? It's not important whether or not you believe me. Could you try to keep your doubtful facial expressions in check? Thanks. I can't help but feel a little embarrassed when you look at me like that. I'm sorry. It's not like that. It's okay, I understand. Yes, you do indeed understand the circumstances. Even those that once firmly believed in me have stopped doing so. What makes you think I don't believe you? Or rather, in you? True, honest belief in the guardian spirits have long been forgotten. An ancient practice lost to the times. Faith and belief lose their meaning when trials and ordeals no longer adequately test them. I could feel my very existence fading because of this lack of belief. So much so that I am starting to forget what my own voice sounds like. Before I knew it, I could no longer hear my scene. When the town was all but destroyed, I could no longer use any of my powers. The woman stops talking and smiles bitterly. To be honest, I don't know how to react to her sad story. By the way, it looks like you have seen another story. Excuse me? What are you trying to say this is? Some kind of paradox? This definitely confirms as a paradox in its own way. What do you mean by seeing another story to its conclusion? Yeah. So how was it? Satisfactory? Or was its outcome not the one you desired? Whatever the case, thank you for coming back here. I'm sure you came back to learn more about this story. Lastly, you will get a more special story. One that could be considered a piece of the puzzle that, as of yet, has remained missing. I have a really hard time understanding what she means. I stare at her in confusion as she speaks these enigmatic phrases. Somehow, it seems like she is talking to someone other than me. No, it is you, but of a different timeline. And this moment will mark our last encounter. God damn it, in this belief and this moment, this is our first encounter. Our last one? Why? I have to wait for the villagers once more. There should be someone awaiting them once they return, shouldn't there? I hope you will solve the mystery of the rest of your story that remains. You deserve a happy ending. Thanks! So do I, thank you very much. A bright light envelops the entirety of the cave. Just before I have to close my eyes, I can see the outlines of what looks like a dragon wriggling, leaving me with these virtuous, slightly unclear words. The woman disappears. For some reason, I get a feeling that I'll never get to see her again. What the hell? I'm not sure why, but my gut feeling tells me the inside of this cave is worth exploring. Okay, let's see what I can find. Let's investigate the strange cave. That's already been departed with. I find... Ah, lovely. The last one of which. That's the last of the books. What fate did the person pursuing the witch meet? I'll find out if I read this. Too bad it looks like I won't get more info about the monster. Put a book in my bag so I can read it later. Okay, we've been getting these books, but they won't have any more what you would call information. So next bit, yeah, there's nothing in red, so it doesn't provide any more evidence, it just provides more background information about said monster. So let's see, anything else? What a piece of furniture. There's a, this is the last volume of the Undead Survey. So the last book was here all this time. What fate did the author covering the undead meet? Find out by reading this book. Too bad it looks like I won't get more information about the monster exactly. DT of Death. Lovely, obtained all undead investigation records. Lovely. Cave. Then there's draw. Oh, this is the final hidden records bit, I believe. I wonder what it's about, but I can tell it's precious. I'll give it a read when I have time. I put the book in my bag. Secrets laid bare. I think that's all there is for me to find. I'll stand up and take another quick look around, then step out of the cave. Whew. We've done that justice. Selection day has finally dawned upon us. And of course we will be excavated by the Fox Spirit. But how will she dispatch us? I don't know. Let's see. The 8th day is over. Hello, you in the middle. Middle. Not the chicken dinner. Choose Hana. Hana is a real human. There's no doubt in my mind. Are you certain about that one? Look at your evidence again, man. At first I thought maybe I'm not thinking straight because of everything I've been through with her. But it's as clear as day to me now. My conclusion is based purely on factual evidence. It's not. I raise myself up. Time to see Hana. Maybe on your 6th, your 7th, your 8th, your 9th, and your 10th time through this, you'll be able to find yourself a good outcome with one of the characters. I look left and right, then carefully knock on Hana's door, but still loud enough for her to hear. That's me. She's awake. I was worried she might be asleep, but it looks like she's well prepared. Yes, me.
이런 시간에 왜?
That is correct.
혹시
That is correct, Hana. Yes, we have to leave. Now.
알겠어. 잠시만 기다려.
Thanks. About 2 minutes later, Hana steps outside. She's dressed in a casual outfit and carries a small bag because Fox Spirits only requires a little amount of luggage. What about your ankle? Can you walk on your own?
계단은 조금 힘들 것 같아. 여관 밖까지만 부탁할게.
Thank you very much. Hana lifts up her arms so I can support her. Ouch again. You okay?
가자.
You're escaping the problem here, dear Hana. Hana starts walking with a slight limp. I walk slowly and make sure to help her remain balanced. There's a sense of pressure that makes me want to hurry things along, but it is what it is. And here we go. We cautiously move towards the motel's reception counter. The motel owner's probably asleep. No, he's dead in the eyes. I'm trying to keep my steps as quiet as possible, but there he is. I could barely contain a shrill scream. It's the motel owner. He's sitting right there at the counter. The same he always does. What the... Could it be that he's been watching us all this time? No, he looks dead in the eyes. Look at him. Do his eyes look alive? There's something very, very strange about the state he's in. He's blindly staring straight ahead and doesn't even blink once. Unfocused, as if his mind is totally blank. He's more of an empty hole, a human-shaped object rather than an actual living being. Slightly unnerved that we move past the motel owner. a tool that has outlived its usefulness. That's the impression I get when I look at him. And we get out of here. The limp has gone. In fact, Hana is gonna change. As we move across town, I can feel Hana's hand shaking a little while I'm holding it. I check out my surroundings without slowing down. Maybe you should just check on Hana constantly to see if there's any transformations. It's awfully quiet. I get the feeling that not because everyone's asleep right now. Rather, it feels like a predator laying in wait, holding its breath to pounce on its helpless prey. Whew. Don't you notice, Junsun, that your friend is unusually quiet at this point in time? I take a deep breath and start moving a little faster. We make it to the same point where my last escape attempt failed miserably. There's a thick veil of dark fog. Without a doubt, the most unwelcoming sight I've ever seen. I feel Hana's tender hand. Oh, it's tightened again? Just like with the vampire's hand tighten us. She hasn't spoken in quite a while. Maybe she's too scared. Maybe you should go check on her just to see. There's a luxury I can't afford right now. I muster up courage and step into the fog. Here we are again. We keep walking through the seemingly endless veil of fog. Despite a lot of time having passed, it somehow feels like we're constantly hovering around the same spot. My legs are shaking. My entire body is soaked in cold, dripping sweat. What are the powers of a fog spirit again? I pause for a moment to wipe the drips of sweat from my eyes. This is oddly exhausting. It's like another way of your life being leached. Jeez, open my eyes again as I exhale. I have no idea if I'm going in the right direction. There is only fog as far as the eye can see. Still sweating profusely. I just stand there for a while. Come to think of it, Hana still hasn't said anything. Hana, you doing okay? Nah, I think she's fine. Who still hasn't replied? She's just standing there and staring at me. Oh, hold on. Are those eyes a little more yellow than usual? I can barely stand on my feet, and she's just looking at me like everything's perfectly fine. Hana? The very moment I see Hana's dubious smile, I realise what's happening. Something is wrong. Very, very wrong. Hey, Hana? I must sound like a stuttering fool right now. Hana doesn't even react to my words. Instead, she takes a step closer to me. Well, sheesh. I quietly mumble to myself, right before turning around and running away. Damn it! Why? Why is this happening? I thought I had everything pieced together perfectly. I don't even know how long I've been running for. I'm completely out of breath. I pant to look around. Hana, or rather the monster, is nowhere to be seen. All that's there is the fog with no end to it in sight. The most silent of monsters so far. Everything looks the same. Where am I? Realize I've completely lost any sense of direction. A new kind of fear sweeps over me. Damn it. I have no idea where I am or where I'm going. I have to keep walking. I bump into myself again and start moving once more. My legs shake and tremble with every step I take. I'm not the most athletic guy, but this isn't me. This is what folks doing. Rather Hana's doing. No. Every time I inhale, the sticky, unpleasant fog makes it harder to breathe properly. Looks like I've managed to barely escape the monster, only to fall victim to this damned fog right afterwards. Maybe I should stop and rest. No, that's a bad idea. The thought becomes more appealing with every passing step. Well then, hi. You seem to have glowing eyes. I stop walking, although your 9 tails have not appeared just yet. From afar, I can see the monster slowly approaching me. What? But how? How is it suddenly in front of me? No, wait! Despite my bad legs, I turn and run the opposite way. My legs, however, simply aren't moving the way they should. I can hear the monster's footsteps getting louder behind me. A few more moments pass, and I collapse. I slowly turn my head in the direction of the footsteps. Well, hi, I thought the nine tails would slowly come forth at some point. My vision is blurred, but I can see the monster approaching me. Hi there. You might look divine, but you're certainly of the supernatural kind. It's coming this way, with its nine tails waving. I'm nothing more than weakened prey in its eyes, and the hunt has reached its conclusion. Before I knew it, it grabs me by my shoulders with both arms, and gleefully rams its sharp teeth into my throat. For a second, I don't feel any pain at all. What follows, however, is the worst pain I've ever experienced. I can't breathe. My pathetic attempt at a scream has turned into nothing more than air that escapes through a hole in my throat, scattered among the fog in a fine cloud of red. I want to raise my arm to resist this beast, but every ounce of strength has long left my body. What happened? Where did I go wrong? These questions trouble me until my very last breath, but I'll never find out. Answers are for the living. Straight through the heart. But of course this beast was silent. Crucial clues, Hana's past, harsh truth. Although this hand-holding one here should have been unlocked. I mean, that's what happened in our last chase, and although that might be only accessible within the good inn. Hi there. Hello there. You may look about us with those menacing eyes, but for goodness sakes. Okay, that makes more sense than Mina's Winter Cave Ragman. Like, that doesn't make any sense when it comes to a vampire, or maybe that's a story in itself. So, speaking of Nari, we're going to be encroaching upon her route next. We're going to find one more for vampire, no more for a succubus, one more for a witch, so within these times we have not found out her location at all. Undead records, Fog Spirit, we need to find her third record. So we've got 3 more books to find out of these characters. 3 more books there in order to unravel and get absolutely everything. Ritual. Village leaflet, bishop's notes, bishop's speech. Still got to find all of these ritual related ones. Then again, there seems to be no gaps, so maybe we've got all of them here. Monsters. Oh yeah, there's 3 of them each here, so there's all of them there. That one there, that one there, that one there, that one there, and this one here. Okay, so that's 15 there, 15 here, and actually that's everything within the village's log. Yep, Novena Diabolos. Okay, we won't be going on those ones. I will be going on those ones in the episode where I do a little bit of storytelling. Just reading out loud everything from we get from monster info and village logs. Reading it out loud as a storytelling sort of thing. And hopefully put together some kind of theories as to the happenings of all of this. So I'm only 1 hour 7 to this recording, so we're going to select new game, and this time we're going to be pursuing our succubus friend, and then in our 5th playthrough our undead friend. Our first case was in the forest, nothing new there. Our second case, however, is in the abandoned building in the abandoned village. Nothing new to take of note in comparison to other locations that the murder sites could be at. Are there any murder sites which have yet to unravel themselves in any of our 4 playthroughs so far? We'll be seeing our succubus friend this time around if I've not said that already. So we've got no clues about any of the monsters because not yet gone into the navigation points sort of things. Let's go. We've already visited Nari 3 times, but this is the first time where we'll be seeing new dialogue from her, because we have not encroached more on her route than we've done so now. Okay, I should go see Nari. Let's see. The young man made lots of flowers bloom, hoping to make the village beautiful once more. He started handing out flowers to the people passing by his garden by giving the flowers to everyone. I think we've looked at this story already. After 1 month, having handed out all the flowers he had, the young man went to the village filled with anticipation. But when he arrived, he saw his flowers spread all over the place, abandoned and withered away. Damn. I arrived at the forest. No idea where that story came from. While on my way to the forest, I had made up my mind. Today I'm going to ask Nari to escape this place together with me. Leaving right now is impossible. But I'll let her know my plan in advance so she'll be ready on the 9th day when this ritual concludes. I think I've built up enough trust with Nari. That means it's time to make preparations for the last day. Determined to see my plan through, I walk in the same direction as always. And here at last we have Nari, and soon find Nari sitting in her usual spot. I keep my distance and observe what she's doing from afar. There's nothing out of the ordinary today. Nari is just quietly sitting there and reading a book. After a couple of minutes, I suddenly can't help but chuckle at what I'm doing. This time I caught myself peeping before Nari did. I slowly approached Nari. Hi, Nari.
왔어?
Yes, that's correct. A subtle smile appears in Nari's face. One that makes me feel sincerely welcome. I sit down on the same rock as always. I hope I didn't interrupt. You were reading? I look at the book Nari is holding. It looks like an old foreigner book, but it's still in really good condition. Sorry. Wow, she can read the original, non-translated version?
응. 존 윈담의 The Day of the Triffids. 무려 51년도 초판본이야.
The Day of the Triffids. Day of... Can you say that again, please? I stutter. I've never heard that title in my life. When it comes to literature, I'm a complete amateur. Well, joke's on you, I'm a complete beginner.
그래도 이건 영화화도 된 책인데 정말
Nope.
몰라?
Not one bit. A movie? When?
62년에.
I'm not that old. That's... I don't know any movies from that time.
그래?
Nope, not one bit. Nari puts the book back into her bag.
SF 쪽에서는 굉장히 명작인 책이야.
A science fiction masterpiece.
하지만 이런 책조차 관심 없으면 잘 모르더라고.
Okay.
사람들에게 기억된다는 건 정말 어려운 것 같아.
Okie dokie.
그렇게 잊혀지는 책들을 보면 그런 생각이 들어.
Yeah, when knowledge doesn't get read, it's knowledge itself that is just faded away. Because no one's absorbing that info.
나 같은 사람은 정말 아무런 흔적조차.
Nari, that is not true. Do not say that about yourself. For goodness sakes, there are people who love you. People who like you. People who would miss you. What does she mean, people like her? What has gotten into Nari? What's with a sudden change in mood? I should loosen up this gloomy atmosphere. I don't know much about you yet, Nari, but I do know you rock at making those cookies, and
또?
I happen to rock at decimating them, don't I?
그게 뭐야? 농담 진짜 못해.
I'm bad at jokes, yeah, right. Well,
그럼 그 엄청 잘 만든 과자나 먹을래?
do I? Maybe I do. Nari smiles again as she speaks. The awkward atmosphere disappears. I nod and Nari searches through the bag. And here we are, she pours out an astounding amount of snacks. Truth be told, this mountain of sweets is a little intimidating. Wow, that's a lot. Special occasion?
그래? 너가 좋아하길래 남은 거 다 가지고 왔는데.
I just bought everything I had left because you like me so much. What?
역시 너무 많았나?
Perhaps, yes. Look at them all. Nari hands me a cookie as she speaks. I feel like there's a clear disconnect between her words and actions, but I won't complain. I take the cookie and eagerly put it in my mouth. These things are fantastic, even though they look like dogs. As I eat, my eyes meet Nari's. She's not taking her eyes off me and looks at me with a bright, happy face. It's much nice to see her like this instead of the gloomy expression from before, though admittedly I'm a little intimidated having her stare at me like that.
자, 여기 차도 더 마셔.
You have tea as well. Of course, thank you. Yes, because you should accept tea from a stranger. Yeah, that's what's going to end up getting a person killed one day. Just accepting tea from a stranger. If you know anything from the Red Alert series, then yeah, tea is a killer.
자, 괜찮지?
Was it oolong tea or something like that? Yeah, it's delicious.
그렇지? 차 안에서 먹으면 더 맛있어.
No, that's a bad part right there. It's gonna turn empty. Please don't do that. I don't know how much more I can take. Now it seems highly amused by my reaction. Her attitude is back to normal. Maybe I was just imagining things earlier.
현수야, 어젯밤에 있잖아.
What about last night? Hyunso? Who is that personnel?
아, 미안. 이름을 헷갈렸네.
From a previous partner? Don't worry about that. No big deal. Happens to me sometimes too. I say so and downplay it, but things are suddenly starting to feel a whole lot more awkward again. Hyunso is probably the name of one of Nari's friends or relatives. I think it's a previous partner. Mix-ups like that can happen when you're not concentrating. But there's another thing to add to the list of things that just feel off. Nari's behaving strangely today. I don't know if this is the right moment to bring up my escape plan. I'll mention my experiences to elicit a response. Be less direct. Nari, you see, the murder I'm investigating...
어?
It's actually more dangerous than I originally thought.
그래?
I'll tell her a little more about the dangers that I think linger in this area. Weird cult-like religions, people dying without trying to resist, villagers who won't comment on anything. The whole story is more than enough to scare the average person. Nari listens intently to everything I have to say. As always, however, I feel like she's not too bothered by anything I say and doesn't seem to care much. It's more like she's being told a thrilling fictional story.
사이비 종교라.
Yep.
생각해보면 인류 역사에서 종교라는 건 많은 슬픔을 만들어냈지.
It has, but also religion has created a lot of happiness for people to get together.
그런 의미에서 보면 사이비 종교와 그냥 종교의 차이가 뭘까 싶기도 해.
I think those two things are more similar than you realize. They're both about fictional tales. Tales, get it? Anyways, let's move on. If I'm not mistaken, Nari appears to intentionally talk around the subject. I was going to say about the subject. It's like she wants no part of what I'm trying to tell her. But why? After this conversation, I tried to talk to her a bit more. It seems as if Nari has had enough and doesn't want to talk anymore today. Alas, there doesn't seem to be a chance to close the distance between us even further. I should probably get going now. At the end of the day, I couldn't get the answer I wanted out of her. I stand up, anything else would be a waste of time right now.
그래. 또 올 거야? 과자 아직 남았는데.
Nari, you know you have your own mouth to eat them, you know. Of course, I'll drop by again.
조심히 들어가.
I'll do my best to be careful out there. Nari and I wave at each other and I get going. Get going, going, going. The lake is the third site of our murder things, whatever you want to call them. The third crime scene. Anxious, definitely. Yeah, I mean Nari. I almost said Hana again, but that's a previous playthrough. I should go see Nari. This... Okay, looking at all the dead discarded flowers, the young man made up his mind. He was dedicated to not giving up and started growing flowers in his garden again. And just like before, he gifted them to the villagers. He believed that by repeatedly doing so, he could turn this entire place beautiful one day. On a day like any other, he was busy handing out flowers as always. Hey there! The May, who had always supported his endeavour, spoke to him. Oh, hello, sir. The flowers are coming along nicely. Here, please take one. No. Could you please just stop handing out these flowers? With a confused look on his face, the young man stared at the mayor. I know you mean well in your heart, you have good intentions, but the people don't like how the dead flowers make everything look so messy. Really? The young man was left speechless. Never would he have expected to hear this from the man who had supported him so eagerly. The mayor looked away with a sad expression on his face. Your flowers are beautiful, but they wither away too quickly. That's what flowers do. Nobody wants a dead flower. At that point, it's nothing more than a burden that gets discarded. That's why I would like to ask you to stop for the town's sake. Wow. While walking through the forest, I realised today is the day I should tell Nari about the escape plan. I reflect on what my current relationship with her is. There has been no significant steps forward, but then again nothing has worsened either, which is a step forward in itself. There's a moderate amount of mutual trust, and maybe that's the best I can hope for. I don't know Nari all that well personally. However, I'm sure she'll listen to what I have to say. Yeah, I'm sure of that. She has to. For our sakes. Nari, are you there? How strange. This is where she usually greet me, and make a bad joke or scold for peeping. Nari? Hello? Unless Nari's behind us. Are you not here today? Maybe she's at the motel. I try not to think about it too much and return to the motel. I arrive at the motel and pause upon noticing something. There are two villagers engaged in conversation near the motel. If I keep walking this way, I'll run right into them. What should I do? I really want to avoid them whenever possible, but at the same time I'm curious to know what they're talking about. We will hide and secretly listen to them. I really want to know what they're talking about. I hide nearby and eavesdrop in their conversation. Our chosen one. Do you know where he is or how he spends his days? I'm sure he's really busy. Taking care of 5 beauties ain't no easy task for any man. Don't joke around about him like that. You should thank him for saving us. Thank him? He doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. Anyway, who do you think he'll pick? I don't know what his taste is, but I saw something. Haha, really? Can't blame him. Curves like an hourglass, that one. Shh, we're right next to the motel. One of them could hear you. You're way too jumpy. If you're that scared, let's get out of here. Having finished their conversation, the two men walk away. An hourglass, you say? Chose one. Under different circumstances, that would be a cool title. I chuckle at my own misfortune. I've never been the religious type, so suddenly being a so-called chosen one is kind of funny. Though I can't say I'm a fan of every move I make being observed closely. I shake my head and enter the motel. And here we are again. Nari's room is 302, at least I'm pretty sure. The closer I get to her room, the more nervous I get. I can't really say why. After taking a deep breath, I slowly raise my hand and knock on Nari's door. Nothing. I walk away and wait a while, then knock on the door again.
누구?
It's me, Junsun Park.
잠깐만.
Okie dokie.
왔어?
Yeah, I'm here because I tried to find you in the forest. Yeah, you weren't in the
안
forest.
그래도 나갈 참이었는데.
But you're rather late then.
잘 됐다. 들어와.
Thank you. Nari opens the door a little more and I step inside. Reused background? This is my first time in her room. There's nothing special, it's very similar to my room. I don't know what else I expected exactly. This is a motel.
아무데나 앉아.
Thanks. Nari sits down on the floor and I crouch down and sit directly opposite of her. She smiled at me the whole time. As was often the case previously, I'm a little intimidated.
과자?
Oh yeah, thank you.
차도 있어.
Thanks. You're forcing this all onto us, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Damn it. Looks like her first order of business when seeing me is to always feed me. I'll just keep it casual for now. We exchange a few casual stories out of our ordinary lives. It's a pleasure as always, because Nari listens closely and is fully immersed in whatever I tell her. I look Nari in the eyes, trying to find the appropriate moment to tell her about escaping from here. After a few more casual stories, we both stop talking for a moment. Sorry, this could be it. Nari, I think I found a way to get out of here. I get straight to the point.
나갈 방법? 안개만 거치면 나갈 수 있는 거 아니야?
Yes. That's what in theory, yeah. But the fog will only clear for a brief moment, then return again soon after. Missing that short window of time means being stuck here. Indefinitely.
그렇구나. 그거 곤란하겠네.
Absolutely. But my question is to Sun-jan, and this has happened throughout all of these playthroughs so far, is how did you get the knowledge that the fog at some point is going to lift? How? Okay, we know where he got the info from. It's from the devil himself, but for goodness sakes, you never explain it was to one of these. But then again, would it be a bit cliche to know that 4 of the 5 monsters here are tied to the devil in some way, and then from there, would the devil punish us if we just say it out loud? So I want you to come with me. We can leave together.
나도?
Yes, you as well. Like I already told you, there's a serial killer on the loose. Yet for some reason the locals are strangely calm. There's something wrong with this whole village. I try to convince Nari to leave with a mixture of persuasion and intimidation. If she's scared and quietly follows me when the time comes, that wouldn't be such a bad outcome. Nari?
어쩜 저리 누나 마음을 모를까?
You don't know how I feel. Nari?
난 나가지 않을래.
Why not? Why? No, you can't. I mean, don't you see how dangerous it is to stay here? All the villagers here could be on it together, sorry.
내가 위험해지면 너가 지켜주면 안 돼?
But we can't even explain it to her. She's one of the chosen monsters. Of course I'll do everything I can. No, hold on a second. I've stopped talking for a moment. This whole conversation is starting to get way too confusing. Did she basically just tell me to stay here with her? Doesn't Nari realize how dangerous it is here? Nari, there's no doubt about it. If you're in danger, I'll protect you. But we have a chance to avoid that danger before anything happens. By leaving, we can return back home safely and...
미안. 난 나가지 않을 거야.
Why don't you want to leave? What? But why?
현수, 너 정말 몰라주는 거야?
Why are you mixing up my name again? This is the second time.
이 마을을 봐.
What about this?
조용하고 주변에 우릴 방해하는 사람도 없어.
You don't realize the catalyst towards why it's quiet and calm around here. There's a certain peace to it, yes, but there's also a lot of chaos at the same
마을
time.
사람들도 우리한테 신경 쓰지 않잖아.
Because they're all doing the same thing that is avoiding us.
무서워할 건 아무것도 없어.
You...
연쇄살인범이 돌아다니는 게 무서우면 계속 붙어있자.
This is giving me a yandere vibe.
우리 둘이 같이 있으면 가까이 못 올 거야.
That doesn't make any sense because they can still get to us regardless. Nari pleadingly holds my hand with a tight, strong grip.
그러니까 조금만 더 같이 있으면 안 돼?
I mean, I've still got a few more days left before I can say that the fog is lifted. Her helpless attitude and her trembling hands almost makes me say yes without a second thought. But no, this isn't the right moment to be controlled by my emotions. I shake off Nari's hand and open my mouth, speaking in a rather cold tone. Who is Hyunso? Yeah, you've mentioned that twice now. My name is not Hyunso. And you want me to stay here knowing there's a serial killer somewhere out there. I'm sure even you realize how strange all of that sounds. Definitely. What's wrong with you?
난
My gosh, those eyes look empty. Nari doesn't answer. Instead, she just looks at me with sorrowful, somewhat resentful eyes.
미안. 강요해서 미안해.
But you're not answering my question. Who is Hyunso?
방금 한 말은 잊어줘.
That's not what this is about. Who is Hyunso?
널 이해시킬 순 없겠지만 난 여기에 있고 싶어.
But what is there to like about this place? The only colour in this village is grey. You don't care if you're in danger?
잊었어? 난 기면증 환자야.
You're gonna run out of medicine at some
늘
point.
위험했는데 여기 있다고 달라질 건 없어.
Damn it, Nari. Really confusing.
밖이랑 차이가 있다면
It's the volume.
그래. 여기선 적어도 다른 사람들에게 피해는 끼치지 않겠네.
Hurting others intentionally or at the very most of times unintentionally is life. No matter what happens, you're gonna hurt somebody, mainly mentally. That's part of life.
난 모두에게 필요 없는 사람이야.
And don't you dare devalue yourself like that as well again.
밖에서 누군가에게 짐이 되느니 그냥 여기서 이렇게
We are all
지지고 싶어.
individuals, Nari. Nari's words convey her sadness. She sounds utterly helpless. A burden? What makes you think that? I haven't told you this before, but I had a major screw up before I ended up here. I was on my way to hopefully fix things and make up for that, but I got stuck in the fog, and when I was down and out and didn't know what to do, that's when I met you, Nari.
알고 있어.
Wait, what do you mean you know?
너 나한테 꽤 의지했던 거.
You're still thinking of me as Hyunso. Feeling caught, I chose to stay quiet.
무슨 일을 겪었는지 얼굴이 어둡게 굳어 있다가도
You're mixing me with another person now, Nari. This dialogue even could even tell me that she's the monster in this playthrough, or a monster.
나랑 이야기하면 금세 밝게 웃곤 했지.
You're talking about somebody else, Nari. You're multiple personality disorder? No, not that.
엄청 귀여웠는데.
Hey, wait! Please don't talk to me like I'm a little boy.
하지만 그건 이 마을이니까. 이 마을이라서 생긴 착각일 뿐이야.
Get your heads together.
밖에서의 넌 나 같은 건 전혀 필요 없을걸.
Why do you say that? What's the reason why that you think that you are worthless? Why do you say that?
신물나도록 겪어봤으니까.
Sick of what?
너가 나한테 뭔가를 보았을지도 모르지만
What about you?
그건 그냥 이 안개 속이니까. 아무에게도 의지할 수 없으니까 그랬던 것뿐이야.
I could have relied on at least 4 other people. But yet here we are, because we chose to. We didn't do it because we felt pity, or piety, whatever you want to call it.
넌 그냥 안개 속의 환영을 본 거야. 그러니까 그 환영을 향해 너무 힘쓸 필요 없어.
What are you talking about now? Helplessness and extreme self-loathing towards oneself. This reminds me of myself a few months ago. My failed coverage and subsequent trouble at work resulted in complete loss of confidence and perspective.
미안. 너가 나한테 의지하는 게 좋았어.
We're all independent, but at the same time, you're not talking to me, you're talking through
이
me.
마을이라면 이런 나라도 누군가에게 힘을 줄 수 있을 것 같아서
Nari, what are you talking about?
거기 중독이라도 된 듯 정신 못 차렸던 거지.
Because that's what humans do, we share problems. We all have problems. But because they're problems doesn't mean they're bad.
안개 속 환영은 내가 보고 있었던 모양이네.
Desperation. But that's not...
그만!
What do you mean stop it?
오늘은 그만 가줘. 혼자 있고 싶어.
Forceful, isn't she? I want to say something, but I simply can't find the right words. I stand up with a mind filled to the brim with complicated thoughts. I need to leave for now. I think both Nari and I have a lot we need to think about. I'll come again sometime later then. No answer. I'll wait for a short moment to see if Nari will say anything, then I leave the room. Oh dear, leaving the room, I exhale loudly and look at the ceiling. I don't know what I expected from that, but it definitely doesn't get rid of my frustration. I enter my room with a look of utter defeat on my face. I think I need a little break right now. Oh dearie me. You conclusions, even though there's barely any trust from last time, right? It was like about that when before we met Nari for this time around. So, oh dearie me. Notebook. Anxious. We didn't learn anything new about her. Could this be a failed route then? Could we have needed to like push further rather than keep it cryptic? It is important that we escaped together on the 9th day, but we didn't learn anything new about her. Maybe it needs another meeting in order to learn more, because we should have another bullet point down there, because we had anxious beforehand. This book again. The story of a young man who was handed out flowers to make the village beautiful, only to hear that his flowers made the village an even messier place. I think about Nari. Maybe she's been through a similar situation as the one in the book. At first, anything seems possible with an objective and enough conviction. Results that appear to be meaningful soon follow. At some point along the way, however, she must have lost her confidence. She's in denial about that and goes on and on. That's when a feeling of complete helplessness suddenly sets in. I have experienced that same sense of helplessness as well. It was hard to get over and really bothered me, but I met Hostek Cho, followed the lead on a new case and got back on my feet again. I look at the book once more. It's more than that to me. It's a symbol, a reminder to always get back up and try again. That's why I always carry it around with me, as a precious source of motivation. Maybe it could help Nari in some case. I put the book into my backpack. After a few more minutes, I leave my room and head towards my next destination. Actually, my bad, I did put a post-it note on it. It was just after the meeting. So, after all the events transpired, then it does put the post-it note there. Troubled! I think it's a sense or a source of depression, if that is the case, because you're always self-pitying yourself. We have come this far into the episode, folks. I think in the next time around, since we've covered all locations, we may be able to cover, let's see, Nari's ending along with most of the route of Rin and her ending as well within the game. We've come pretty far. We've definitely come very far within this game, but there's still a lot that is left to be done. And even when you get the post-it note that says escape, you could still meet with the character for some odd reason. Maybe we need to do that. Like, gaining their trust to the fullest most possibly is a good way of going about things. But what about meeting the character after that? Is that even possible? So, she is definitely troubled. What can we do to help her? I don't know, because she is in a never-ending cycle of self-doubt in this case, unfortunately. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you all in the next time of Novena Diabolos. Thank you very much for watching, and take care of yourselves.